Hi everyone and welcome to a new video from PsychGeek. Don't believe in everything you think in. Thinking can be a big deceiver and in the same time can be our way out. What we think in can determine our way of life. We can stuck in our false thoughts and die with it, or we can live with our rightful thoughts and explore our powers. In this video we will get into this and we are going to learn the process of thinking and the mistakes we do during thinking. This is Sophia. She had a thought about her grandma while driving, which died few days ago. She was going to make a crash, but because she was thinking in her grandma, she was delayed just 2 seconds. And because of that, she was able to avoid this crash. Sophia had a strange thought that her grandma's spirit protected her from that crash by delaying her those 2 seconds. Why Sophia had this thought? There are millions of cars every day, and according to probability, some major accidents will definitely happen, and some simple crashes will also happen, and some crashes will be avoided. What we assume from this, what happened with Sophia was normal, but why Sophia created this thought about her grandma protection? What Sophia had is called the mystical behavior, which is believing that particular thing is affecting another particular thing while there is no reasonable connection between those two things. And in most cases, this happens just by chance. For example, a football player touches the ball 3 times before shooting it and score a goal. He linked that goal with the 3 times he kicked the ball before shooting. So in his mind, he will consider those 3 times before the shooting as ritual, because every time he shoots, he wants to score a goal. Humans always seek for reason behind things and always have the desire to search for different patterns around us. And this desire makes us see some events as it happened in order. And there is a reason behind these events, so we start to search for these reasons and believe in it. Whenever we have a situation that we can't control or we can't figure out why it happened, we turn to the mystical behavior. We as humans have a great desire to predict things. We want to know who we will marry and when. Are we going to work in that company or not? This desire we have make us believe in our powers and others' power to predict things. And this make us only remember when we predict right and forget those times we miss. If we take this person as example, she came to us believing that she predict a future in her dreams. And we write down all of her dreams. We found that only 10% of her dreams come true, and the 90 didn't. After a while, if we ask her about her dreams, she will only remember the 10% that happened, not the 90. Same idea for prediction. We only remember what come true and we forget what didn't. That's why we believe those who predict. Humans hate uncertainty and they want control. And prediction make them feel in control. And that's what makes prediction desirable. When we mention prediction, we don't mean only the cup reading, but also prediction of stock market or even weather. People all the time predict economy, but economy is so complex and have many aspects, and between each aspect 1,000 of different complex transactions. And it's impossible to predict the outcome of these transactions based on science or knowledge. It must be an absolute chance. Now we have 2 situations. Let us imagine you bought $20 ticket for a football match, and when you arrive to stadium, you lost that ticket. Are you going to buy another ticket and pay another $20 to watch the game or not? 2. Let us imagine you went to buy a ticket, and when you open your wallet, you found that $20 is missing. Are you going to buy the ticket or not? Most people will have different answers for those 2 situations, or at least they will have different feelings. Why we have different decisions for the 2 situations despite the same amount of money? Because our mind handles those 2 situations with something called mental calculation. In the first situation, your mind bought the 20 you paid in the first ticket and the 20 you want to buy the second ticket in one mental calculation. You will pay $40 to watch the match. No, I won't. It's a losing case. But in the second situation, your mind bought the $20 in 2 different mental calculations, and by that, they will turn to buy the ticket and watch the game. We all need to know the mental calculation because it plays a big role in our financial decision, as you saw in the previous situations. You can notice the mental calculation when you deal with cash and credit cards, or your salary and unexpected profits. and the difference in how you spend it. We tend to spend the cash very quickly without planning or putting priorities. The solution is to put all your money in one bank account. So, if you want a money prize, put this money in your bank account. You will find that you will plan how to spend this money and organize your payments. If you hear someone speaking and in the middle you hear him saying that he has a weak memory, he means that he have a weak ability to remember certain things that happened with him in the past. We all deal with memories as it exists in the safe somewhere in our brain. Back to this man case. He has difficulty to restore it from that save. Doesn't work that way. It's not a place to recall the past, but it's a place to build the past. To explain more, with time, our newest experiences change our memories. And every time we want to remember something, we recreate it again in our head. And more we do this, the more our memories take us away from the truth. And this leads us to common mistake. We mix all the past experience together with the present experiences. We could refer someone common to another. We could experience a confusion related to places and people. We shouldn't trust fully in our memories. We should put at least a small percentage that our memories could be wrong or false. In your life, you will notice that kind of people who say there's no way that war be avoided. I was so sure the outcome of that revolution, or something like that. Before anything happens, we have doubts, many doubts, but after it happens, we only remember the one doubt that happened already and forget the rest. And when we forget these doubts, we reform the past unconsciously according to what happened, and this is called the late right perception. The late right perception affects the way we judge or how we see others. For example, if you lose your stock or you lose some money, you hold someone the responsibility of that because all the fingers point to that person. You start to create something in your head. That person causes this loss because of a wrong decision or a wrong predict. But the truth is, even if we were in the same places as this person, we would take the same decisions or even worse because all of these surrounding doubts. We do a lot of mistakes. And because of these mistakes, we will definitely take some wrong decisions. And somehow we don't care and we don't notice that because we have overconfidence in ourselves and our abilities to take decisions. We always remember the time we succeed and we forget the time we failed, or we hold someone else the responsibility of our failure. And that's why we exaggerate in our ability in knowing everything. And this makes us see our intuition decisions are more right than reasonable decisions. For example, if I want to figure out you're going to be a successful person in the future or not, my impression about you is more important to me than a grade you had in academic tests. And this is totally wrong. As conclusion, we need to have humility in our abilities and our knowledge, even if we are sure of it. Thank you for watching.